Welcome back, everybody. It's Mark. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a hot day here in Arizona, but it's a great day. Any day that you're going to take a Minn Kota Edge 45 off of the front of your boat, that's a great day. So why are we taking it off? We got a new one, and it'll be going on in the next day or two. Today I'm just focusing on taking the Minn Kota Edge 45 off and everything that has to do with it, trying to see what kind of room we have to work with. I know it's minimal, but we're gonna see what we can do to avoid making any more holes in this boat. As I do the removal, I'll walk through it, I'll talk about it, and we'll go from there. All right, stay tuned, check it out. All right, so obviously I'm gonna start taking off all the easy stuff first. Fish finder, I got mounted to this Scotty mount. Goes right into a rod holder. It's pretty slick. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, there's not a lot of room on this foot pedal to get that screw out. It's not very long, so doing it by hand's not that big of a deal. That guy's free. We'll just keep going by hand with these guys. Alright, so some handy tools you're going to want to have on this little trip is a nice pair of dikes. You need a screw gun with a square drive to take off the panel. And you may need a Phillips if you've added anything up front that requires a Phillips, such as your foot pedal. Some of these guys are tucked in here pretty good. You kind of got to dig around. If you haven't done this already, for those of you that have done this already, you know what I'm talking about. I think there's a screw under this guy. Don't want to strip them. That's just lazy. Alright, so as you can see, it doesn't take much to get that front cover off and things kind of out of the way. Now what we're going to do is take our time, make sure we take off all the wire without doing any damage, and we'll see what we're working with. Alright. Alright, so what you have here is the back of the receptacle. You got your wire coming down. Alright, in case anyone's wondering, that's what gauge wire you have under is 8 gauge. So that is our transducer run here. Going from the transducer up and back down the trolling motor to here. We're going to go ahead and remove that now. I'm going to go ahead and remove that transducer and get everything off of this motor. And starting to look like it needs a new trolling motor sooner than tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, so some of the biggest challenges people have taking this motor off is access. There is literally no access to this contraption. The access has been excessively limited. I don't know if all the boat's cutouts were done right of center of the boat, which puts it, a smooth 20 inches to 2 feet away from the furthest bolt. Alright, so in order to get to the hardware that you need to remove this, you need to take these shrouds off of each side. It's 6 Phillips head screws, not a big deal. Alright, so all we have left to do here is remove the hardware holding this bracket down to this boat, and we're done with this, and we will assess what we need to do to get the new one up and running. Alright, we'll get this off of here and we'll move on. These two and the two right inside this bracket are going to have nuts on them. The rest of them were sheet metal screws that were blasted through. So it is bolted down in 4 spots with nuts. So we are going to have to create access to get to these 4. Well, unfortunately, I think we are going to have to make some access. And I'm not real happy about it. But, you know, I think that's just the nature of the beast. They didn't give us any. I think I'm going to avoid doing a foot pedal, a recessed foot pedal at this time. I just kind of want to see how this foot pedal works. It looks a little wider than the old one, so I'm not sure if it requires a different tray or not. So I think I'm going to mark this up and create some room here so I can get at these nuts. Just so you know what I'm looking at. Alright, so we need to create that access. One of the nuts is right here, basically along this side, and the other ones are right around here. So those 2 right here, and then there's 2 just inside the channel that need to come out. So we're gonna have to create a hole identical to that right here. How you do that in a flat piece of metal, in case you haven't done it before, you draw your template of your cutout of exactly how you want it. Okay, so I'm going to mark this. I'm using a dry erase marker so I can remove it. Not that anybody's ever going to see it, but okay, we're looking for something like that. Hopefully the cut turns out better than the crayon. All right, well, we have access now. I can feel these first 2 right here, so those will be easy, and the next ones are about 6 inches apart. So I think we're gonna have some success here. I do have some lengthy tools that can get that far. All right, I mean, I didn't want to cut a hole in the boat, but you know, sometimes shit happens. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up before we go any further. We'll get these nuts off, get the motor off, and call it a day. By the way, these are 7/16 nuts up in here, so you don't have to struggle, just get a 7/16, but we've taped it on pretty well to a 3/4 inch wrench, and I think we'll be able to reach these holes back in here. And get these bolts off. Well, we lost the hardware, but we did get the nut. Alright, well, we've got all the bolts off, all the nuts are off, some of them made it to the bottom of the boat. It's kind of inevitable because I couldn't reach them. So, I don't know what the rest of you guys did when your nuts fell down into your boat, but I can't find mine. Alright, thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate the continued support and continued comments. That's, you know, some of that's the best part about this, is just interacting with the people that, you know, some people just talk about life, some people talk about their boats, some people talk about what they want to put on their boats. It's awesome. It's a great thing. So keep the questions coming. I love it. If you liked it, like it. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the future. Thanks again. Take it easy. Good night.